My bike bus journey is one of inspiration. When my eldest son started at school, we were driving. It wasn't a long distance, it was about 4 kilometres, and it was just extremely frustrating. The journey to school was maybe 10 or 15 minutes by car on a good run. It was such a better experience cycling with him than driving. There was no traffic, we were able to leave later, and about that time my wife and I saw the bike bus. And I messaged on our reception parents group and said, does anybody want to cycle to school with us? One of my favourite pictures of... God, so great because of like how small they were, how small the children were. It's that thing of like, out of tiny things, you know, this amazing movement that we've got in Worcester has grown. Now we do 13 schools. We've got every day of the week we have a bike bus, 20, 30 kids in a group. And we put volunteers out every day, 30, 40 volunteers a week at times to support families riding to school. So yeah, it's a big group, big organisation.
I love seeing the bike buses. I've watched a couple of the children who have clearly not been very confident, and it's been like a bit of a journey watching them as they've sort of developed over sort of the spring and the summer, and then they're completely independent, not needing an adult next to them. I'm always sort of happy to sort of position myself and wait, because they're not going to be very long. If more people were considerate and just let them through, they'd be gone on their way.
It's really nice because usually we're able to get to the school pretty quickly. Yes, I feel really safe because there's lots of adults there that can look after us, and because they always block the junctions to make sure every child can get past without the car getting to us. I think they do mind a bit, but not all of them do, because some of them understand that we're going to school and we're a big group, so we all need to get past.
Whether they accept it willingly or unwillingly, they accept it, and those children have that space on the road now, and it changes the culture of driving. Those kids are going to be in the road, they're going to be riding to school, and you're going to sit behind it for a bit, and actually it won't affect your journey that much either. Just let the kids ride to school.
When I'm on my own, I have much more of an adrenaline fear sometimes that I could so easily not be seen. When I'm on a bike bus, I know there's other volunteers with me, they're at the front, there's some behind, we're all looking after one another in a big group. I'm not a very confident cyclist really through town and traffic, but when I do it, I sort of feel quite proud of myself.
So Room to Ride is a campaign that Bike Worcester is running to try and encourage essentially more consideration on our roads. If you're on a bike, you're more vulnerable than if you're in a car. At its core is a concept of space.
I drew a Room to Ride sticker for cars to put on, and I've made a badge. I put a bike at the top, and I promised to give bikes room to ride in different colours. It shows that they will give bikes room to go along the road and they won't overtake. I think really proud and happy because the word is getting around, and also that someone is having awareness.
Oh, what's in here? And these are the Room to Ride car stickers, designed by the children at the workshop. Oh, that's so nice. We couldn't decide on one. There were so many great designs. So this is collaboration, I suppose, between us and them, and just kind of putting them all together in 3 separate designs. It kind of gives each one of these stickers a kind of unique look. So they're quite collectible.
Oh, that's really cute. That's really lovely. What a brilliant campaign. I do wonder, is the flag, because I've seen some of the bike buses have got the little flags on the back, and you can see the children have been involved. I will put one of these on my car, if that's okay. And I will always make a comment, actually, to my children if we're in the car, and I'll go, look, that's a good driver, if I see someone overtaking a bike.
My exposure was to weekend cyclists, middle-aged men in lycra who, you know, are going cycling on a Saturday or a Sunday morning and going in groups, creating a bit of an obstruction really.
People don't understand what it feels like to be on a bike. And if they did, their driving, their behaviour would instantly change.
Bike Bus has definitely given me a greater appreciation for what cyclists have to experience and also how vulnerable they are. People tend to be in a habit of look at the cyclist and say, right, I need to overtake the cyclist, but actually what they don't see is what's beyond the cyclist. And again, that's my experience of being on my bike and had cars overtake when then there's been, you know, the road narrows or there's a pavement in the middle and they're trying to overtake me and sort of end up cutting me up. Second thing is then, is it safe because you've got cars the other way or bends, etc. And then third is indicate, so that, you know, if the cyclist has got a mirror on, they can see, going to sort of indicate, but also obviously anybody behind me sort of really do pass wide. Highway code says 1.5 metres as a minimum. It's a minimum. Obviously if you can give more, you should. What I tend to do is sort of, if I can, get onto the other side of the road. Given sort of experience with Bike Bus, if I approach a junction, I see a cyclist, it's kind of okay, is that the only cyclist? And sort of stopping, you know, a bit earlier to obviously, you know, let them go past and also see the intent that they know that you're not going to pull out on them.
Generally cyclists are slower than cars, and I would be looking to see, are they carrying straight on? Are they going to be turning off? Is there a safe space for me to go around them if I need to go around them? And if not, I would just hang back and wait until there's a safe place to pass or either of us has gone a different way. I don't think there can ever be a situation where you can be in that much of a hurry that you need to put someone's life at risk. And I would want them to give them the same consideration that I would ask that driver to give to my friend or son or relative.
Room to Ride is important because it is that first step towards really driving change in Worcester around cycling. Any cyclist who sees the Room to Ride sticker will feel quite happy knowing that that individual is aware of Room to Ride and, you know, therefore is likely to be aware of you as a cyclist and make sure that their driving supports cyclists.
To give cyclists that security and that people are going to give them that space would be brilliant.
The power of those tiny children who couldn't ride their bikes, and because they said yes, and because they said we're in, is just, the power of it is amazing.